Today we're continuing our truck madness. So recently I picked up some Thunders. So these are just some Thunder hollow lights right here. Ultimately I was just trying to lighten up my setup, but there are a few things about Thunder trucks that I like and I don't like. If you're newly catching this video, normally I ride independent. The last truck I was riding are these independent forged hollows. These aren't the titanium ones. These aren't the super lightweight ones. These are the ones, I guess, underneath that. Still very lightweight. With the forged base plate, it's super thin. So it's actually a forged base plate on these Thunders as well. So they do sit very low like that. But these trucks are like a millimeter or two lower actually than the Indies. Also with the Thunders, they kind of pull your wheelbase out a little bit, making it more sturdy, but also not as quick and responsive. But at the same time, that's okay because these trucks do turn very, very well, and they are definitely quick and responsive. So I feel like that balances out with the kind of longer wheelbase, if that makes sense. If you ride Indies, the wheelbase kind of sits in a little bit more, so it does turn pretty quick as well. I've realized I skate kind of tighter trucks anyways, so that's probably why I like independent in general, because like I don't really ride super loose trucks anymore, so like this just works for me. And when I was riding the independent inverted Kingpin, that actually was really loose. It always kind of never got tight, so I got used to that. But I was skating curbs at the time, so I wasn't going super fast or anything, and the loose trucks on the curbs work better in my opinion anyways. So kind of back to these trucks, I just don't like the bushings in these trucks. They're just way too loose for me. These are about a 90-92 on the duro side. The ones I was recently skating in my independents, these are slappy bushings, and these are a 95 duro. I've noticed I kind of like the hard bushing while keeping my truck kind of on the looser side, if that makes sense, for two reasons. One, while having the hard bushing and the loose truck is what I mean is like I really won't show too many threads. I'll just have the nut just kind of honestly on where it's flush. Also, when it's kind of loose in the harder bushing, I feel like the rebound is just quicker. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know when you're sitting inside of a crooked grind and your truck's all bent, and then when you come out, like you know, sometimes you see people pop out super crazy. I've noticed with the harder bushing, it definitely reacts and pops you out of grinds a little bit quicker than the soft bushing. So recently, I was trying to put these slappy bushings inside of my Thunder trucks, and it didn't actually fit too well. And I kind of want to show you guys what I was talking about, because yes, I can kind of see this washer. I mean, I'll actually compare both of them, but this washer is actually wider. So for an independent or the slappy bushing, because they are very similar shape, it fits that very well. So I'm going to take off of this guy. And I'll kind of show you guys what's kind of going on here. Okay, so this is the Thunder bushing. So first of all, you guys can kind of see the shape is much different. So I tried to just to put these exactly in this setup, and I didn't even think about it, but this bushing obviously doesn't fit in this washer. This washer is for something that shape, obviously, so it's gonna just fit that better. So don't get me wrong, I tried doing this, putting this washer that actually came with the slappy bushing in here. So we'll do this. We'll get this truck sitting in here. And see how like I'm having to kind of like push it down? Like I'm kind of forcing it a little bit. And also, do you guys see how high now my Kingpin is now? Like this does work. Somebody even mentioned I could even shave this down so it kind of looks like this, so it'll fit the Thunder like washer. That's just too much work for me, honestly. And I don't know, I should have even know, like even this like right now, like it works, but you can kind of tell I'm kind of having to force it, if that makes sense. I feel like the geometry is just not the same now with the flat bushing. So pretty much that does work, but it's not optimal. I want to feel like it should. I can still run it like this, but it's just not made to work this way. So this is why we have some Thunder hard bushings. So I'm assuming this is going to actually fix all of my problems. A little closer look right here. All right, I just want to show you guys everything that comes in here, because look at this. There's actually kind of a lot of stuff right here. All right, kind of sick actually. I didn't realize it even gave you new little pivot cups, which is kind of nice. So let's actually move all this. Okay, I don't want to mess all this up, but we're going to move all that over. I'm going to put these back on here so I don't get confused. I just wanted to point out, see, having that same shape bottom bushing is going to make honestly such a difference. And can I figure out which one is which? Okay, I'm assuming the bigger one's going to go on the bottom. Chill. And as you can see, this is not taking very long. I feel like I'm making it take long, but Is it not giving me a kingpin? It does, it does. Oh, it looks kind of sick with the black. That was honestly one of the things I actually don't like about these trucks. It was, you know, all the chrome on it makes it look kind of like cheap in my opinion. Okay, sick. And I can already tell, tightening this, it already feels much tighter. And since these trucks are pretty turny already, I'm assuming this should work out very nice with the hard bushing. So I'm just going to tighten it till it's flush. Okay, that looks pretty decent right now. And so these also came with like also other black hardware. I'm going to switch that out too, honestly. I feel like that's kind of a sick look. I don't think I've ever had black hardware on the side of my trucks like this, you know. I mean, on my fingerboard I've done this, but never on my actual big skateboard. It's funny, I've never like aftermarket, you know. Oh, that looks actually really sick with the black hardware. I'm not mad about that, actually. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the next one and then kind of show you guys both of the trucks once they're done. But I think the black hardware is a nice little touch. The black hardware kind of matches my, what's it called too, with the rails and everything. Yeah, because I don't know, I like that. That actually looks sick. Yeah, I'm into it. So we just got the hard bushing on the truck right now. I think it looks pretty sick with the black versus like the blue and the silver. I don't know, I feel like this makes it look kind of sick. I like that. Versus this, I don't know why, the blue and the all chrome and whatnot just makes it look kind of cheapy in my opinion. It just doesn't, I don't know, it looks like a freaking fingerboard truck or something. But I kind of can get behind the black hardware. It's kind of fresh. I just changed this last truck. We'll kind of talk about things I like and don't like about these. So I guess first off, right now, hopefully there was a lot of thread on the kingpin just because I had to tighten up the truck so much. But now with the hard bushing, there won't be too much thread hanging out. So hopefully that'll make a big difference right away. The other thing I do want to mention that I actually do like about these trucks is how there's no like knuckle on this truck. So, you know, with Independence, it takes kind of a little while to kind of grind through that before you get like a nice little crook groove. This kind of happens right away. And it's kind of good and bad. Like, don't get me wrong, doing crooks on these trucks is amazing. You lock in so easy. But at the same time, the metal kind of goes pretty quick. Like, I've only skated these on a curb for like 30 minutes, and it already kind of got grinded up pretty quick. I don't think these trucks last very long if I only skated curbs like I used to. But at the same time, they are way lighter than my current trucks, so I do like that. Also, the other problem I was having with the other bushings, I know they were still kind of new and they were breaking in, but if I were to land kind of left or right, the trucks would stick so much. And I felt like when I switched over to the hard bushings, it doesn't really do that as much. Probably the last thing I want to talk about these trucks that I don't know if I like it or not, but the base plate right here. Because the base plate on Indy, it sticks out hella right here. I know you can get different ones actually that do stick out more. My wheels are honestly just small enough now, I think, where it does actually hit the base plate a little bit. And if you're wondering why I'm tripping out on the base plate so much, it's kind of the nose slides and tail slides. When I do nose slide, nollie flip, really any nose slide tricks, I depend on my base plate. It's almost like helps me pop out of my trick a little bit more. With this, as you can kind of see, you're going to slide more on your wheels. Like if I rode a 54, I don't think I would hit the base plate at all. I'm riding 52s on this current setup, so I actually do hit it. It looks like a little bit, not a ton. If I rode like 50s or something, I think I would definitely hit the base plate. But, you know, that's kind of my other thing I'm going to have to experiment with, because I think it's the only thing I haven't really messed around with, was doing like nose slide and ollie flips. Because otherwise then, I've just really been doing grinds with these trucks now that I think about it. Okay, the trucks definitely feel pretty flush. All right, we just got both the black bushings on, the black hardware is on the trucks. I honestly really dig the hardware. I'm going to stand on the trucks right now because I am kind of curious to see how these bushings are going to feel. Like I said, there was no real reason why I chose Thunder. I just kind of asked a few different people what they would suggest to me, especially looking for a lighter truck. Now there are just so many truck options. Like I definitely want to even try slappy trucks. I've heard a lot of good things about that. But I mean, ultimately, I feel like even just having the titanium forged hollow Indies might just be my best answer, honestly. Just for the sake of how Indies kind of sit with the wheelbase. But I have been enjoying these Thunders, actually. I think I had a very low expectation, so I think I've been enjoying them more than I've thought. But now that I actually do have the hard bushing, I think this is going to be ultimately what I've been looking for. Because I don't really like to Frankenstein my trucks, sort of say. I feel like they should kind of come the way you should be skating them, or, you know, they should be factory made or factory ready, if that makes sense. So putting the, you know, factory kind of bushings in the right trucks, you know, should make a difference. The other bushings didn't just, the truck didn't sit the same way, and I wanted it to sit the way it's supposed to be skated. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to alter my trucks a ton, because then it kind of, I don't know, I feel like I get lost in that. There's too many things to like mess around with. Switch out the bare minimum. I'm pretty lazy in that sense, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to keep fixing my trucks, you know? I don't think I actually mentioned it in this video, but these are the Thunder Hololites 149s, and I'm skating it on an 825 board. I like the wider truck on the skinnier board just because I get more truck out of my grind. I kind of sit sideways when I do crooked grinds, so I think that kind of helps. Also, when I do feeble grinds and stuff like that, I've noticed I sit very sideways. So having more truck to grind just kind of helps me. But I've heard the other way around. I've heard people liking the big wheels, having minimal truck, you know, smaller truck, so then when you do 50/50s, you know, it's easier to lock in. There's less truck to kind of slide around on. So I definitely think that's a personal preference, and it really depends on what you're skating. I just thought I'd mention that in this video because I haven't actually mentioned it yet, but I'll make sure I link kind of the other video before this to the end of this video, so if you guys haven't seen it, you can go check it out. Oh yeah, I wanted to stand on the trucks and see how they feel. I feel like this is kind of the better tightness I've been wanting. I should have waxed my bushings or waxed my washers or my pivot cup. Maybe we'll do that later because that's so squeaky. But yeah, I already feel like the rebound back in these trucks is already better. I was just getting kind of too stuck with my other trucks. I don't know. This just feels way better. Like, look how fast it goes back to normal. Like, I push it down, snaps back, snaps back. I don't know. This is crazy because I've never rode a duro this hard. It's 100, like I mentioned, because these are 101, these wheels. So it's funny that my bushing is like almost as hard as my wheel. Kind of see though, like I don't really tighten it at all. So even though it is a tight or a hard bushing, I can still turn my truck a lot. Like, I'm still able to turn like really good, actually. To show you, even with the hard bushing, like, look how much I'm still turning. Well, that was pretty much it for the bushing switch out. And it's funny because even though these bushings are hard, it's still how Thunder, how they're like the jelly looking bushings, they're still kind of jelly looking, which is kind of funny. They don't look like the bottom one looks kind of more wheel urethane looking or whatever, but the top ones look very jelly still. So I am curious to see how these things are going to react and skate when we actually start grinding ledges and whatnot. So, but yeah, comment, let me know what you guys are skating. Like, what trucks are you guys skating right now? And there's just something that I'm sleeping on. Have you guys ever messed around with your bushings? You guys prefer softer bushings, harder bushings, or do you guys just ride them stock? Because I mean, that's what I did forever. I honestly never even messed with this until recently. And now that I think about it, I probably should have started messing with it sooner because maybe it would have helped me. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But comment, let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I can't wait to skate these. I mean, it feels chill though.
Spencer told me at Indy.com. This has just turned into an ad. You've already clicked away, but don't stay tuned because skating is not going to happen.
Well, it might. But probably not for this bit. Hey, you'll save some money on the shoesies. I mean, some new shoes probably just dropped the time you see this. How you doing? Get a nice little break. Tell them you know what guy.
You want one of those bamboos? You get one of these bamboos.
Tell them you know what guy.